Hi everybody, welcome back to Betway's Weighted to Win. We Wednesday Gravel Polytrack, Hollywood Bets Gravel. Looking forward to the Hollywood Bets Durban July. The field's been announced, gallops are coming up. We've got a lot to look forward to, and I've got Daryl Marie in studio today. I've got Gary John online, and we're going to talk about getting through today and maybe a little bit of a chat about what's going to win the July. Let's start up with Daryl Marie firstly, talk about the first. I just want to quickly have a look at the market where that was number 6, Like a Butterfly. Betway have got priced up at 16 to 10 favourite. 4 Ladybug is 5 to 2 and 6 to 1 about number 1, Take Your Time. And then you can get something around 6 to 1 about Head Girl as well. Good to have Daryl back. You went well. How are you feeling now? We were worried about you.
Like a lion.
Oh, you're like a lion now. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Flu's a terrible thing, eh?
Good to be back.
Good. Who's the better one of the Andre Nel horses?
The 4 Ladybug.
Is that the right one?
Excuse me, Clyde.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of scope for improvement. Nice debut. Beaten a long way, but we have to touch on that form line. I mean, Gimmy's Countess looks like she could be something really special. The run-up came out in frank that form. Spirit of Lavana, I think her name was. Plenty scope for improvement. The stable companion Red Girl, a little bit suspect over the 1200. I think Like a Butterfly is the danger to Ladybug, but she's well exposed. Last time out, probably one of her better efforts without the headgear, and that remains removed. So I'm going 4 from 6 in the opener.
Okay, Gary John's with us online. Let's join him now. Gary John, morning, and hope all well. What's your first choice, race 1?
Morning. In race 1, I'd have to agree there with Daryl's pick on Ladybug. I really like its first run to Gimmy's Countess, which is in the Golden Slipper on July Day. It will be one of the favourites, I'm pretty sure. Also, just looking at that form line with Spirit of Lavana coming out to win, a horse like Firecracker ran 5 lengths behind Ladybug that day and came out to run 3rd. So I'm very strong here on Ladybug. I feel like a Butterfly has had its chance, and Head Girl. It has improved Like a Butterfly. It's moved up last time like it was going to win. I don't see the poly being a problem, but I would be going on the improver here with the improver, Ladybug, definitely. And I made a small little danger, Jet Lavish at that price. It is draw 7. There's not much in it with Take Your Time and Jet Lavish. I think Jet Lavish will finish in front of Take Your Time, but that form line could be reversed from draw 1.
Okay, thanks, Gary John. There we go. So it sounded to me like between Daryl and Gary John, that Ladybug might end up favourite race time. We saw Gary John's bipot. Here's Daryl Marie's bipot now. That's on screen, and you guys can take those numbers down. Okay, this is a maiden handicap over 1,400 metres. So make a note of that in terms of the second race. Market suggesting an absolute 2-horse race, 7 Her Royalty and 3 French Duchess. Her Royalty 17 to 10 and French Duchess is 18 to 10. And then you've got 6 to 1 and better bar those 2 runners. So market says 2 horses. Is that the case, Mr. Marie?
I disagree with the market over here.
Disagree, okay.
I'm not a fan of the Professor Lupin form line. I know Her Royalties are too old and open to improvement, but I have my doubts. Clyde, number 3, French Duchess, nice debut for a new yard. My concern is she gets left at the start. If she's going to get left on the poly track carrying 60 kilograms, it's going to make her task so much tougher. But if she jumps on terms, I think she's going to love the step up in trip. So healthy respect for her. Also respect for the 4. I don't know really how to pronounce it. But I make cases for several runners over here, even numbers 1 and 6, who happen to be my top 2 choices. So it is a maiden handicap. I think if the 6 Dynasty's last can break cleanly and get away from the field with 50.5 to shoulder, I expect major improvement. Yeah, but I played the safe route over here. I'll make it very tough.
So you're tipping Louis Hurston's runners 1, 2?
I'm going 1 and 6, and respect for the 3 and 4.
All right, so Daryl Marie expecting Louis Hurston horses to run big races. Gary John, the French Duchess being slow out of the gate. Are you worried about that?
How's it, Clyde? I'm not too worried about it jumping slow. I'm just going back to its first run to Carla Moretta. It was very unlucky that day. I'm very surprised this horse has not won yet. I have seen that it's changed stables. I think the pace is going to be on. If it does get left on the poly, it is a slight concern. But with them going so quick in this race, I do believe this is the horse to beat. I saw one danger in the race, which is number 4. I think it can definitely improve. It's also carrying no weight on the back. But French Duchess, I think today's the day it will get it right. The 1400's perfect. I'm battling to find a question mark for this horse because I see everything going its way today.
Okay,
Definitely
there's.
a banker, in my opinion.
Thank you, Gary John. I see in your place accumulator, you've got 108 Rand perm set up, which our viewers are busy taking down or scanning away as we speak. Daryl's also worked out a place accumulator on screen at the moment, which our viewers can, again, use their mobiles to take a scan shot of that or write down. That's the latest race 2. Okay, we got another maiden handicap that we faced with here in race number 3 on the card, on the poly. They run them over the 1400 metres. Odds on favourite. Betway got this horse 6-10. Number 6, McDazzler, for Dean Kannemeyer and Craig Zaki, the current favourites to win the Hollywood Bets Durban July combination. They favourites to win, yeah, and they bet 5-1. Bar that. Is it a one-horse race?
In my opinion, it is, Clyde. I'm hoping it drifts so that I can have a little bit of a nibble. 2 efforts on the poly track, very encouraging. I know he's got 61.5 to shoulder, but he has been gelded subsequently, and I think he's got a lot of scope for improvement. He's certainly a division above what he meets here today. No winners from the form line, but several placings and an indirect winner. 2 lengths behind him was his stable companion, French Flame, who won a very promising race last time out. So I'll make him the horse to beat. It is a handicap, so I do have a little bit of respect for others, but I'm more than happy banking him in all my bets.
Okay, so you're all on McDazzler. Gary John, the same for you. You McDazzler, or are you looking to beat it?
Yes, Clyde. I find it very hard for McDazzler to get beaten in this race. Just looking at the pricing at 5-10, it's very hard to have a bet on it. Definitely a pick 6 banker. I have added over here Cosmic Captain. I see a lot of value in this horse dropping back to the 1400. The second favorite there, Move to Prove. It ran behind Helsinki last time. And if you go 2 runs back to Cosmic Captain's run behind Irish Luck, Cosmic Captain beat Helsinki that day. So just on that form, I think Cosmic Captain will finish in front of Move to Prove. 8-10 a place. I asked the question, should I take 8-10 a place Cosmic Captain or 5-10 a win McDazzler? I would have to lean to the place bet on Cosmic Captain there. There is not much in this field. I'm sure it can run a dirty third for us.
Okay, well, there you go. Thanks, Gary. You got a couple of pick 6s, I think you worked out. One that's on the screen, and there's another one I think that we've got up as well, or not? Is it just this one? Okay, I beg your pardon. So that's the pick 6 that's been worked out for us now. In terms of the play, there's also a Daryl Marie option in terms of the pick 3 with those numbers on the screen, and that's a 16 Rand per. Race 4, welcome back. What is this event now, the 4th race? Let's just have a quick look in terms of the descriptions. It's always important. No handicap, thank God. Maiden plate over 1,200 metres this race. And number 3, Turnaround's a favourite. They've got it priced up 13-10. 4 record high is the second choice, priced up 6-1. 6-1 about number 6, Kinnick is priced up 6-1. And 10-1, Salt and Pepper, 10-1. And then you can get 12-1 and better about the others. Jackpots, opportunities to get some jackpots on?
Yeah, Clyde, let me just state, if you like this favourite and you want to back it, wait to race time. Wait until race time. Far too short. I mean, this price is crazy. You ever put it up at even money drifting out to 13-10? I think it's ludicrous, to be quite frank. Yeah, fair enough debut. Like I said previously in one of the previous races, I'm not a fan of the Professor Lupin run. I think there's 3 runners, all 3 unplaced. Let's see how the Jet, what is it, in race 2 goes.
Yeah.
Let me just... Sorry, what is it? Her Royalty.
Yeah.
Maybe Her Royalty has actually franked the form by now. Irrespective of that, I think the the price is short and he will drift come race time. I've got respect for numbers 1, Railroad. Last time out, too far. Previous run had a horrible draw to contend with. I actually think the course and distance without the blinkers is going to prove to be a winning move. So my top pick is number 1, Railroad. But I've got healthy respect for number 5, Amor Fati. Let's see how that form line has worked out, because I think Gary John likes one of the horses running from that form line earlier in the card, French Duchess. But you know that on that occasion, Celtic Chief was close on a 4-length winner. So he wasn't too far behind the second place runner, and he's got a lot of scope for improvement. I also have respect for number 8 over here, Katavar. So I'm playing to beat this favourite.
So would you take 12 to 1 Railroad?
Most certainly.
Is it? Okay, there's a Shruti from Daryl Railroad. Gary John, what's your case?
Clyde, touching on the favourite Turnaround, I do also agree with Daryl that it's priced up very short, and that form line is not the strongest. But looking again, it did beat the field by 3.3 lengths that day. It was draw 8. It had a lot of gate speed. And one thing that did catch my eye when I watched the replay, Professor Lupin did go past it, but Turnaround wanted the fight at the end, I saw. It came back at Professor Lupin a little bit. And today, from a good draw, it's going to have everything its own way once again. Calvin Habib is a very good judge of pace. Like I said, I'm not 100% convinced on the form line, but this is a very weak field. Then touching on Amor Fati, I find this the value in the race. I know in that Celtic Chief, there's a highly rated sort called Varga that MJ rates quite highly. This horse, Amor Fati, was draw 10 last time, dropped out, came very wide. Expect the improvement there. And then also touching on Katavar, its last run was not the worst run. Its run before to Spelling Bee, it wasn't on the poly, but a lot of winners out that form line. Helsinki, Gorgeous Dude, Run to Rio. I'm very scared of the draw 8 though on the poly. But over here, it wouldn't surprise me to see Turnaround win or Amor Fati fighting it out. I really like those 2, 3 and 5 in this race.
Thanks, Gary John. The Amor Fati 11 to 1 at the moment. Railroad 12 to 1. 2 Shrutis between Gary and Daryl. Perhaps 1 and 5 you could use in double floaters. There's the jackpot on screen. Welcome back. Race number 5 on the card. Let's move on to that now. It's at Hollywood Bets Greyville. If you've just joined us, I've got Daryl Marie and Gary John who will join us for this particular preview. And it's a handicap fillies and mares over 1,200 metres. Market's got number 1, Pantier, top of the boards at 33 to 10. 4, Perfect Trust, second choice at 4 to 1. Also 4 to 1, number 8, Swiss Paradise. And the 6, An Air of Pride, who's trading at around 6 to 1 as well. So open race, 7 to 1 and better the others. Does seem to be like a bunch of horses can ultimately win here. Is that right?
Yeah, I think you can make a case for each and every one of them, Clyde. Pantier hasn't really performed over the 1,200. I watched the later start. She tended to over race over the 1,000. If she relaxes over the 1,200, I'll give her a chance. Okay. I do believe numbers 3 and 4 will be more suited to the 1,200 than what she will be. So I have respect for 3 and 4. Now, Perfect Trust, I think she was recently taken out for TCO2 levels. I liked her progress over the last furlong in her last start. She didn't get the best of breaks. But Clyde, I think if you are playing wider, include number 2, Drive By, because if you go back a few runs behind, I think the Blush of Dawn run, yes, you'll see she's as much as 7 kilograms better off with Perfect Trust. So I think that brings her into the play as long as she's not outpaced over the 1,200. So I make it a very wide open race. Numbers 1, 2, 3 and 4 are my top 4 picks in no particular order.
Supernova Star's 14 to 1 or something like that.
I think she'll run well. The stable's in good form.
Gary John, open race?
Yes, Clyde, this is a very open race. I'll be going field in my pick 6s. I think I also had quite a lot of horses in my bar pots in this leg. Just looking at touching on Perfect Trust, I remember it got scratched last week. I actually never really liked it. And then when I was going through this race, you just got to respect the run to Miss Paget. I mean, Miss Paget came out to win. Green Valkyrie came out to win. So I do have respect for Perfect Trust. Do I think it can win? Yes, but also I have my doubts in this race. Pantia was also one of my first choices, but something that put me off, I see a few runs back, it says refused to jump. So I see this leg very hard. I would look for the value. I really like what Daryl said about drive-by. And a lot of things are pointing to this horse drive-by I see in this race. But a
Okay.
very, very hard race.
Open race. So even Supernova Star drive by. They're both 14, 15 to 1. There's the next jackpot that Daryl's worked out for you. Okay, guys, back with us. Thank you for watching Betway's Weighted to Win, the most popular tipping show in South Africa, but by a distance. Right, the Real Prince is top of the boards at 19 to 10. They're expecting that to win. Then Accept Temptation is at 28 to 10, second choice. Don Karari, number 1, is 6 to 1. And then 7 to 1 and better about the others. Is it for the Real Prince is taking or what?
Clyde, I wouldn't be surprised to see this horse win on the bit, hard held. But I have a little bit of doubt because of Dean Kennemer's comment in the front of the computer.
What does it say? Sorry, I
He
haven't
says,
seen it.
doing well, but may need the run. Now, his class can certainly put him through. We all know who he's related to. I mean, he's so well related. Gimmy's Countess and Gimme a Prince. So he's bred in the purple, and I loved his debut. It only says 2 from 13 in the computer form, but indirectly, the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh runners have all won from there. So he could be anything, this horse. Let's see how it goes. But that comment has slightly dampened my enthusiasm. Clyde, if you go back to number 4 here, Good Traveller, you can see he's actually 1 from 1 on the poly track. Now, if you go back to that run, he beat on the poly track Isi Vungu Vungu. And he gave Isi Vungu 5.5 kilograms on that day.
Sure.
So he has been a disappointment. We know he was a grade 1 winner early on and hasn't quite lived up to the expectations. But I think off his current mark, he can be competitive. And then you can also make a statement for numbers 1 and 5. But you know what? We like to see champions. Let's hope the Royal Prince can get it done. But I do have respect for others of here.
Okay. Gary John, I guess it's the Real Prince or Field.
Clyde, I'm very strong on the Real Prince. Just touching on the family. Gimmy's Countess had 1 run, 1 win on the poly. The full brother, Gimme a Prince, also unbeaten on the poly. But I see Dean did the same thing with Gimme a Prince. He gulled it, gave it a rest, and brought it on the poly, which came to win quite easily. Yes, it was over 1,400, but just going on the family, it's 100% strike rate. I have to follow that stat, and I see this horse having no problem about the poly track. The way it won last time, I was very impressed with its win. It came from last, mowed them down, eased down, but when it got past the front horse, it just took off. I do have respect for Don Karari and Good Traveller. Don Karari's last run was a very good run. My biggest question mark with Don Karari is the 1,200. I see it hasn't won over the 1,200. It's won over 1,000 and 1,400. So that 1,200 is a big question mark. Yes, also Good Traveller, 1 from the poly. But this is my best bet for the day. I really think we're going to see the real deal today.
Yeah, we do love to see champions. That's the race 6 preview. Welcome back to Weighted to Win. Race 7 is a handicap over 1,000 meters. So before you know it, it's over 33 to 10. The pair here about Fashion Mistress number 1 and 4 Purple Powerhouse. 33 to 10, the 2 of them. Number 6 Zulu Langas, the third choice, priced up 11 to 2. And 6 to 1 about Another Day in Africa. Another Day in Africa is priced up, 6 to 1, 10 to 1, and better about the others. Let's go to Daryl. Talk about this race. Is it open?
Yeah, Clyde, you love Alison Wright and her
Very
stable,
much so. Her and Kevin are doing a fantastic job.
I think she's got a strong hand over here. I mean, Purple Powerhouse is an obvious selection. 3 runs back over the 1,000 meter. that day beyond Ndaka, there was a howling tailwind and it didn't quite suit his running style. So I think he's got a possibility of reversing the form with Ndaka. But you know what? Rakesh Sugalam's having a great trot at the moment. This horse, Loving Winter, he's really plummeted in the ratings. He's finally strung 3 runs together. I think he's had his problems, but he's having his peak run now. And you know that Sean Veal has actually partnered this horse in the past. I think he won on him in his second start. If they go very quickly and he's not outgunned in the early stages and he's not too far back turning for home, I can see Loving Winter certainly featuring over here. I think he will get a blow in over here. Number 3, Clyde. If Samanga can bounce this horse and put him in the race early, Cotton Ron, he could certainly
You like
be
Louis
effective.
Person's horses today, eh?
Yeah, let's
You've
see.
been all over them like a rash today.
Yeah, Clyde. If I'm leaning towards one, it would probably be Loving Winter.
Okay, Loving Winter, almost 10-1. Gary John, your version.
How's it? Yes, I see a lot of value. Just touching on Loving Winter, I see a lot of value in it. Also, the yard's on fire, so you can't leave it out. And I see it's also at a price of 10-1. Just touching on Ndaka at 14-1. It's got a lot of horses held here. Ignore its last run on the over the 1200. It was too far for it, I feel. I'm a little bit scared of the draw there, but Ndaka has to be one of my first choices here. Also touching on Purple Powerhouse, I know the yard's very, very hot, but in the computer form, it says it hasn't won in 863 days, which is a big concern in my eyes. Definitely can run into the trifectas, in my opinion. And also, Fashion Mistress must be a big runner. Also, one of my first choices here. But I'm going to play for the value here with Ndaka and Loving Winter.
Interesting, very interesting. Some choices that we got from both tipsters. Daryl's worked out the trifecta. Well, I mean, the horses that have been tipped, you're talking, they're all trading around 14-1. And that could be a healthy return. Last one on the card here for us, Betway Weighted to Win. It's a handicap fillies and mares. Stands for Field and More over 1,900 metres. The last event. Market, what are Betway doing in the last race? Remember, we're doing the recording at about 10 o'clock in the morning. So you can take the betting down and see where it stands now. 1 Summer Song 3-1. Number 8 on the card. What's Up Buttercup is second choice 7-2. 5-1 number 3 Woodland Glade, and 7 Doctor's Orders 5-1. You can get 7-1 and better about the others. You got a Shrewd here for us at the back?
Not really, Clyde. You know, Mark Dixon's stable's absolutely firing at the moment. Last 10 runners, 3 winners in 2 seconds. Doctor's Orders just got touched off last time out. If you like her chances, you have to have healthy respect for What's Up Buttercup. I think number 6 even comes into the play, English Primrose. So I've got respect for all of those. Number 3, Woodland Glade. Now, I expected more from her last time out. I'm actually got the feeling that Moosey's going to bounce this filly and try go start to finish on her. You know, she's been up in trip again. Maybe this is what she's looking for at this stage of her career. Have a look at her run second from the top in the computer form. Just close to a year ago, she ran over 1,800 against You Can't Hurry Love. She was far from disgraced on that occasion. That was off an 82. She's right down to a 66. I think this is a competitive mark for her. So I'm leaning towards the 3, but I got respect for numbers 6, 7, and 8.
Okay, so Woodland Glade. Well, Mark de Cox have been having winners out in KwaZulu-Natal. Gary John, what do we do here?
Clyde, this is also a very tough race, I found. My first choice has to be number 8, What's Up Buttercup. I have it banked in my PA. I will be adding number 1 in Summer Song into that PA, definitely, after looking at the race. I know Doctor's Orders has What's Up Buttercup held. I feel today that form will be reversed. Don't get me wrong, Doctor's Orders can definitely win this race, but I'm very strong with number 1 and 8 in this leg.
Okay, well, that's the latest from Betway's Weighted to Win. There's a trifecta box that's been worked out for you. We thank you all very much for watching. Hope it's been a good one, and we look forward to watching the Gallops Thursday morning.